Hello, I'm Peter Towers, Managing Director of ESS BIZTOOLS and ESS BASIP. Welcome to the SME Debtors Systems Manual. What we have done at ESS BIZTOOLS and ESS BASIP is developed a customized debtors manual that obviously you can edit the template to suit the requirements of your own clients. And by doing that, you're creating a system that suits your client's business and assists the team member who's responsible for debtors. I sometimes feel sorry for that person because they invariably have to administer a system that's not in writing, that's been handed down verbally from team member to team member, probably over a few years. And no one's really sat down to devise a written system. Well, this is your opportunity, particularly after you have completed a debtors management review, to produce a customized debtors manual for your clients. The system is built around a procedure control form. This is a very short procedure control form because the document has basically been produced, but it does summarize what has to be done. The key headings in the template document that we have produced are Introduction to Effective Debtors Management System Checklist, Setting up an Effective Management System for Debtors, Being Diligent on Transactions, Proactive Monitoring of Debtors Management, a monthly debtors timetable to make sure that debtors are being given a very high priority and that the debtors statements, if your client is still sending them out, are sent within 1 or 2 days of the end of a month. Debtors system staff training is also a very important component, as is debt recovery letters, cash flow management hints, some information on discounting and factoring facilities that are available, and also information on insurance for debtors, and a comment on the overall benefits of having you as the accountant or business advisor conduct at least an annual review of the effectiveness of the client's debtors system. So what we're going to do now is actually go on to the template of the debtors manual. The memo to accountant you would remove before handing this document on to your client. That's just a note to you. You would badge the document prepared by your firm for the name of your client and date it. And that will help considerably when you're looking at regular reviews. And there's those key headings that I just referred to, and obviously there are subheadings under each of them. We have written this system in such a way that you can edit it to then be applicable to most SME businesses. There are various forms that are part of the document. It's a series of forms and templates to help the person who's got the responsibility of administering debtors. There's a short introduction on the Personal Property Securities Register, because I believe many people who are administering debtors in small businesses have got no idea what the requirements to register on that register are. There's some specific comments relating to what happens if someone asks for a credit account. What's the new customer due diligence? And how you might go about approving a prospective customer to have a credit account. A credit account should be a privilege, not automatically granted to everyone. The referees should be checked and a proper system established. Being diligent on transactions. Being careful on tax invoices to make sure they are prepared promptly and forwarded to the customer. Terms of trade agreements and retention of title agreements should be prepared and sent to the new customer. The system should be such that it will monitor to make sure that those documents are returned so that the business is then in a position to make a decision as to whether those documents will be utilised for the registration purposes on the Personal Property Securities Register for this new customer. Debtors statements, there's some comments on. Some businesses don't worry about debtor statements anymore, but one of the key things is to make sure the customer knows that, so they're not using the excuse, oh, we were waiting for the statement to arrive so we can reconcile it before we make payment. We have an arrangement with IODM, who operate an online debt management system that you can read about there and refer to the form. We have some notes there to assist the person handling debtors, what they do about account queries. These should be given priorities because in most cases the customer will not pay until those queries have been answered. And what to do with overdue accounts. The Australian Government's Small Business, Family Business Ombudsman recently indicated that debtors' days outstanding in Australia are the highest in the Western world. That's nothing to be happy about. And hopefully this manual will assist you to introduce systems to your clients which will contribute to a reduction in debtors' days outstanding for your individual clients. There's some hints on debtors collection. In particular, don't be the banker for your clients. And a monthly debtors timetable. Make sure things are done in an appropriate time for an effective management system. There's some notes on a debtors system staff training so that not only the person directly responsible for debtors management, but sales team members and members of the office staff who don't normally get involved in debtors have a better appreciation of what the system is. And are aware that a new potential customer just basically cannot walk in and get a credit account straight away. We've got debt recovery letters, some comments about cash flow management, because that's really where debtors management fits. Some notes on discounting and factoring, debtors insurance, and a plug at the end that your client should be regularly having you review the effectiveness of the debtor system. So that if you came back in a year's time and you found there'd been some deviations from this system, first of all, you'd have to satisfy yourself that they were worthwhile deviations and make sure senior management's approved them, and then update the manual so that the manual is continually being brought up to date, so it is a living document that can really assist in the effective management of debtors. Now you can use this document as often as you like over the next 12 months. And then obviously we'd hope you'd renew in 12 months' time. Any changes we make to the document during the next 12 months will be automatically made available to you because we will update the system on our website. A debtor's manual could be charged to your clients for $150 to $200. And you will have a better idea of how many clients you believe you might be able to implement a written debtors system for. We suggest you start with all new clients and inquire what their debtors system is, and if they haven't got one, you can introduce them to this system. And the other recommendation we're making in conjunction with debtors management is that you review all of your clients, and for those who have got debtors days outstanding over 40 days, you propose a debtors review, and at the conclusion of the debtors review, you could then suggest that if they have not got an effective written system already, that you can introduce a written system that has been customized to suit that particular client's requirements. The debtors system staff training list is now on the screen. It's taking your team through every aspect of debtors management so that they are managing the system and are able to communicate to your clients about it. There's a number of forms, which I'm just going to pick out a few of these to show you. There's a credit application form so that the client is able to review what their potential new credit customer informs them on this form so they can make some checks. There's a personal guarantee form so you can show your client what that looks like if they haven't previously seen one, but they should be arranging for their own solicitor to prepare a appropriate form. There's a due diligence checklist to make sure that the person responsible for debtors has appropriately checked all aspects of this new customer. There's a welcome to new customer letter so that the business can be sending a letter to this new customer, welcoming them as a customer, but also taking the opportunity to confirm the terms of trade, the credit limit, and to enclose documents like the terms of trade agreement and the retention of title agreement that then should be signed by the customer and returned so that your client can make the decision as to whether to register that new customer on the personal property securities register. And there's a summary of some of the aspects of the personal property securities register as it applies to debtors. The PPSR applies to a lot of other assets, but the notes we have here are the ones particularly relating to debtors. We have a separate package on the PPSR that I would recommend that you also review. But this form here gives you some insight into the debtors treatment on the PPSR. We've got details of the IODM, Innovative Online Debt Management, and how their system works, utilizing SMS messages, and you can click on and read additional information, or your client can access additional information so that they might utilize their system. There's some debt recovery letters. There's a debtors days outstanding calculator, so your client is able to calculate that figure, and there's a form there to be completed. And there's a debtors reduction checklist to assist your client each month to identify the particular debtors they're going to approach for large special payments to be collected from them, to try to get debtors' days outstanding back around 40 days. And there's a form which will assist in the conduct of staff training on debtors management. So your investment for this package, which will allow you to offer this service to produce customized debtors manuals for your clients, is $242, including GST, as a standalone product, or you can subscribe to the Smart Start package for only $999, including GST. This represents a saving of $1,254 or 56% on the normal list price for these products as standalone products within ESS BASIP. You receive additional products within the package. Obviously, the debtors system, debtors management, CFO services, business advisory services training package, a mentoring session to assist in the introduction of these new products and services to your firm, 4 edition of the Business Plus client newsletter, which you would badge and send to your clients. So that's what's in the overall package. So you can subscribe to this package for $999, or you can subscribe to the SME Debtors Systems Manual package for only $242. If you have any questions on any aspect of the SME Debtors Systems Manual or the Smart Start package, please send us an email to peter@essbiztools.com.au or telephone us on 1-800-232-088. Have a wonderful day and good luck with debtors management training and advice to your clients. Goodbye.